du corps diplomatique, Mesdames, Messieurs les ministres, Monsieur le représentant, l'administrateur du PNUD.
Obviously, we are all emerging. Even Africa has emerged, but to what extent? We all want to grow our country. When we strived for independence, the idea was that when we become independent, we will be in charge, and because we are in charge, we will develop our country. But unfortunately, some are not able to develop as fast as others. Malaysia has been fortunate in that we became independent not through rebellions or wars against the colonialists. We negotiated our independence. And because we negotiated our independence, the machinery of government was intact. We were, of course, placed under the colonial masters, but we had acquired the skills of the colonial masters so that when we became independent, the governance of the country was quite stable, not disrupted by any violence, nor was our country indebted to freedom fighters. So the original administrators took over the country, and they know what to do because they have been under the British and they had learned a lot about administration under the British. Therefore, Malaysia's progress was much faster because the country remained stable and peaceful. Yeah, we did have some guerrillas fighting against the government, but we were able to defeat them through winning over the hearts and minds of the people so that the people will not support the insurgents. So when the country is peaceful, it is able to develop and develop well. Now, we did not have the expertise in the industries in order to develop our country. We decided that we should invite foreigners to come in and develop our and invest in our country. We were among the first to accept what is called direct foreign investment, and foreign investment contributed a lot towards bringing in capital, technology, the know-how about business and market. Very quickly, our people learn from them. So I think that this experience is also relevant for other countries, including those countries in Africa. If
Are you okay?
If you don't have the technology, the skill, and the capital, it doesn't matter if you bring in foreign investors, even if they were your former colonial masters. Once they bring in their investments, then the country tends to benefit from inflow of capital, new technologies, skills, etc., would be acquired by the country. And that was how Malaysia was able to convert from being a purely agricultural country into an industrialized country. In the meantime, it is important that government remain very stable. We had accepted democracy as a system for our country, but democracy requires a little bit of sophistication. You can only have democracy if the people understand the power of the vote, that the vote given by the people determines who should rule the country. What we notice is sometimes that people who lose in elections are not willing to accept losing. They invariably create a problem, etc., trying to deny the success of the winning party, and as a result, the country becomes unstable. There could be another election, or they could be nullify the election results, and as a result, the country cannot be governed. Fortunately, in Malaysia, people are very mild people. They are not violent people. They are prepared to accept the results of the election, and the government was formed, strong governments were formed, and because of that, with the peace and stability in the country, Malaysia was able to develop much faster than other countries. Other countries were also developing, but where you find a lot of political instability, it's difficult for countries to develop. I believe that most of the African countries have now been independent more than 60 years, and during that time they may have learned, they should have learned about the intricacies and the sophistication needed in the governance of the country. Once that is acquired and people learn that you have to respect the votes given by the votes of the people, I am quite sure Africa would soon be very close to East Asia in terms of growth and development. I'm quite sure this is happening today in Africa. We saw on the screen just now, on the video clip just now, how far they have progressed. And I think that with the knowledge and the experience they have gained over the last 60, 70 years, African countries would be very much, it would be emerging as some of the early developing countries, and they will eventually catch up with the rest of the world. Thank you.
Ne puisse faire